The Roman Empire only lasts so long, and what
Yeah.
happens then? I mean, what do we see in Christian history develop?
Well, you're starting to see that things kind of move to the edges. So what for the Romans was considered on the margins. So you got the UK, you get Britain, Ireland, Scotland. So you get Russia, China. You get some of these things that, from the Roman point of view, were kind of at the edge of civilization, and they're just seen as the edges. And then you start to see that the centers of power start moving towards the edges, and so the Christian church itself then starts adopting a flavor that isn't necessarily Roman anymore. So the missionaries go off to Ireland or something. They're Roman missionaries, but they end up establishing a Christianity that in Ireland that's basically native Christianity, and then that becomes the center of Christian power and thought. And likewise, Russia becomes just this hugely important Christian culture. And originally that came from, Roman or Byzantine missionaries going off to the Russian savages, and now Russia becomes the center of Christian civilization. And you see similar things happen in China as well. There's been Christianity. Do you know one of the oldest Chinese monuments, is a Christian monument. And so Christianity is so old in China that it's a native religion. And it could be considered a native religion. And there's been Christians in China for absolutely centuries. I can't even remember they don't know exactly when Christianity first showed up. But one of the stories of China's Christianity is that missionaries come to China thinking they're bringing the gospel for the first time. And the Chinese go, "Oh yeah, we've heard that." And they pull out a Bible or they tell a story about a priest that came to visit them or something. And you just realize there's been Christianity in China for a long time. And that's those edges that becomes a center, Yeah.
Interesting. I hadn't known that about China. I guess I'd never considered at what point Christianity came over to the East. I know there's sort of been a tradition about Thomas going to India.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
But I don't know how well grounded that tradition is,
Well, there's a lot of this stuff, actually. Like almost all of these stories, you always have to put an asterisk next to it saying, well, this is legend and you can't prove it, but this is the story.
Yep. Kind of like how St. Patrick drove out the snakes from Ireland.
There's a lot of these stories that they're, even if they're not true, they should be,
Yep. Now,